You guys can see it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
So,
it's full screen.
okay, Clint is my best friend and mentor, and he's often with me when I travel, when we do the golf shows. He's in Toronto, Ottawa. He's been out to Vancouver, and a lot of you have met him. And Clint is now 77, and Clint and I play a lot of golf together each year, and we're very fortunate. And this happens once a week. This scorecard, he shoots below 77. And next year it's going to be easier because he can be 78 in February. And I find it fascinating watching him shoot his age and some of the secrets because people think that nobody can really master golf. And I think shooting your age shows somewhat of a mastery of the game. And I'm going to share with you some of the ingredients or the skills or the things that I've picked up that he does um, to shoot his age. And it's just something a little different. It's not highly technical, but it's something I see firsthand all the time. And it actually gets boring. We used to put on Facebook, Clint shot 73 or 72 or 71. Um, but that happens, like I said, it says here weekly. It's truly weekly. We play 3 to 4 times a week, and one of those rounds he's going to shoot his number. So the very first thing that he's learned after age 75, I think, was he plays the right tees. We play on a very short golf course, and this is funny because he's playing the white tees. He never plays the white tees anymore. He plays the red tees that are just ahead of them. You can see them in this picture, but um, that I think is information that CGTF members really should be discussing with their students. Where are you playing? Like you should know where your students are playing from, and are they setting themselves up for failure before they tee off the first hole? It doesn't matter what golf course. There should be a conversation. So also the cool thing watching Clint shoot his age, you would think, well, he's up on the front tees. Um, he's going to be really aggressive all the time. And there's certain holes that don't fit his eyes, and he'll hit a 9 wood out to the 80-yard mark or the 100-yard mark, and he won't hit the driver and try and go for 50, 60 yards and leave himself a 30-yard pitch onto the green. And I find that fascinating too. He's up there, he has an advantage, he's playing a little shorter golf course, and yet he's choosing the right golf club, which again we all can relate to, and we can all be sucked into short holes making a mess of our scorecards. So it's one of the things that I really notice. This is really, really something that I've had to think a lot about. Golfers that have skill can control where they hit the golf ball with having good hands. And this is kind of counter what Eric was talking about in early extension. Um, what I see with Clint, he's an early extender and he's an upper court golfer, but his focus is on how to load and create potential energy. And once he makes impact, he has really kind of a reaction, but he's consistent. And so to create potential energy and to hit the golf ball, um, at 77 years old, to 220 off the tee, 210 off the tee consistently, he has learned that his body has to be aimed way to the left to get enough coil to create power. And once he comes through, he's still flexible enough that he doesn't lose his balance, um, but he uses his hands to square the golf club. And where I've seen as a teacher applying some information that I've learned from him, watching him, is in short game. I'll have people who are learning to chip the ball onto a green, or we'll just say chipping. We won't even say pitching, and they are not going um, to their intended spot and letting it roll up to the flag. They're missing it to the right, missing it to the left. I used to, as a young instructor, always explain so much of where they're lined up and um, realign them. And now I've learned that we can go one of two ways. We can line them up different, or we can explain how their hands are starting the golf ball on an initial direction with a chip, and get a relationship with how to use your hands and where the ball's going to go. We can just move your body, or you can hit it that way. There's two ways to kind of create that initial direction: is alignment or hands. And in Clint's case, at 77 years old, his alignment would be poor in most golf professionals' opinions, and yet he's able to generate a lot of power because of that closed um, stance, which allows him to turn and create potential energy and hit the ball far. So very important to know. And Connie had kind of a question when we did our little talk about how do you teach people that aren't physical specimens or athletes, and I'm not saying Clint isn't an athlete at 77 years old to go and shoot 71 and possibly, and I think he might have shot a 69 this year. Um, he's an athlete. However, his rotation is limited. His stance is going to be is much more narrow for a 6'1" golfer than most golfers, because we need rotation in there, and that's something that we need to really embrace, that you're going to teach people with different abilities different ways, and they can maximize their potential um, by the skill in their hands and the experience and some of these other things that we're going to go through. um, Getting the ball in play is crucial, and having the right equipment seems to be uh, really crucial. Clint was well, put it this way: he's been better in his mid 70s than he was all through his 60s, and I played with him because of the change in lighter golf equipment and better golf equipment that fits him. And he'd be the first to admit that if he was still playing the golf clubs that he did in say the 2000s, he would have quit golf by now. But he has the right equipment and it works right. And the golf ball, it's really fascinating to watch him use different golf balls, because certain golf balls he can hit much farther than other golf balls. And then, he has to determine whether he's going to sacrifice around the greens or off the tees. But having the right equipment, knowing what the right equipment, all these things add up to success. Lofted woods. He plays a 9 wood and 11 wood. The 9 woods and 11 woods have a very tight, what I would call a north-south dispersion. So if he hits a poor 9 wood, the carry distance is usually quite good. The east-west dispersion is greater than the north-south dispersion, but having a consistent golf club that goes in the air and lands lends itself to scoring, and ultimately makes them smarter. I put that in there, but that's an essential. If you're working with older golfers, lofted woods are really quite good. Short game, obviously, you have to have some short game and some secret shots. What I would say about Clint is that um, he can get dialed in, but he also minimizes damage very well. So it's not always the prettiest thing in the world, but gets the ball on the green, and when he gets hot, it gets close to the hole, and he can one putt fairly often. So the other thing is energy and hydration. The older Clint gets, the more 18 holes even riding on a cart on the short course that we play uh, takes a little bit more preparation than it ever did before. So hydration, I would say more than anything, is staying hydrated in the summer. Even we play first thing in the morning, and we're usually done by 10 o'clock. And I teach after that, and he goes home and rests up for 2 days later when we go back at it. But that's huge in his success is staying hydrated, staying, you know. And then this is one of the biggest things I think. Some days it's just not going to work, and that's the days that we just have fun. I'm probably more competitive than he is, so he can accept those things better than others. And but he's very good at that. He accepts that my golf swing isn't broken. I don't need to go and hit 400 golf balls. I don't need to go to the chipping green. It just didn't work today. Whether his blood pressure was up from watching the Leafs or what, uh, that's Clint. Is that he accepts that, and he's the first to say that on about the fifth hole. That doesn't mean he gives up, but he says, "Mark, this is not going to be any good." And then some days do. There's the days where everything clicks. And that's the magic of golf. And sometimes I think we focus so much on swing mechanics and being swing doctors that we forget that you have to be like Clint, and you have to figure out how to play the game, and you have to. That's part of the game. It's not necessarily a game of perfect, like Bob Rotella said in the '90s. It's about getting the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes, and you know you can learn from watching people that play early in the morning and they play a lot. They figure it out or they don't play. So that's just my 2 cents to leave you with something a little different, and hope you enjoyed that. And I know. It's been a blessing for me to watch Clint and see how somebody, who I want to be like if I ever make it to 77 or 75 or whatever. But yeah,
Good stuff. But the equipment part, you're absolutely right. That I see it every day, with fittings, very crucial. Get
yeah,
get your students into the right kit. It's big benefits, big benefits.
I think we're always, yeah, that's near and dear to my heart, seeing Clint there with you, Mark. Thanks for sharing that. Um, Santa Claus just delivered another new book to me today, and not that it's a new book. It's new to me, but it's not new. And it's Manuel de la Torre, the famous um, golf instructor, understanding the golf swing, when he and his father met Ernest Jones. Does everybody know that Ernest Jones came back from the war with missing his right leg?
no,
Yeah. And he developed a golf swing. And one of my first ever golf pros, and uh, his pal was a USGTF member many, many years ago, I think before the CGTF came to Canada, and he was a single-legged golfer. And I learned more from him about how to swing, how my hands started the golf club, hands swung it to the backswing, and my arms swung it to the target. So when you see Clint, how he's set up differently, he's starting to understand that, and he has a feel for that, and he's reacts to where he wants the ball to go. And that's a very, very key thing, is we just allow people to use their innate ability to swing a club or swing their arms, swing their hands, and good things will happen. Let's, try not to, make people so darn technical and pigeonhole them into structured pieces. It's called the golf swing. Look up swing in the dictionary, right? It's a swinging object.
Well, I think that was a pretty good night. One of the things that I mentioned, anybody that presented, we would vote on, and but I'm gonna nix that, and I'm gonna give everybody a little thank you gift for taking time to put your presentation together, and I'll send everyone who presented tonight a shirt and a hat with the CGTF logo on it. So. I'll chase you down for your sizes and get you a little care package. So I think
Thank you, Santa Claus. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Men's medium. So no, I'll get some nice stuff out there. And then I mentioned one other thing, that we have some CGTF Cup news. We've selected this year. We're going to London, Ontario, on September the 21st. So,
I thought it was Bracebridge.
Well, that's why we have this big announcement.
Cancel my flight to Bracebridge.
Yeah, cancel that. Cancel that. You can go to Santa Claus Village another time, right?
Man.
Yeah. No. Grant Gulich is a GM with Gulf North Properties, and he's got us an amazing deal for a game of golf and a dinner and an optional practice round. And so we're going to go and we're going to visit his facility that just underwent some surgery, and they're reopening some new holes. They're extended or changed holes in 2026. So this year we've managed to get it outside the teaching season and have it in September, which has been a bit of an issue. But more details are going to come up in the new year with pricing and reservations. And I just want to end with a huge thank you to all of you, and a huge Christmas blessing, whether you celebrate it or not. We wish you all the best for the holidays, and hope you have some family time. And I hope, no, it's not there in Dallas. Westminster Trails Golf Course, Gulf North Properties. So that's the name of the golf course. Anyways, back to thanking you guys all, and look forward to gearing up for our strongest 2026 season. We'll work together in the new year to do some more continuing ed, and that encourage each and every one of you, if you have any questions or concerns or anything, reach out. We're all here as a community. I know not everybody can make, the Zoom sessions. That's why we put them on the YouTube channel. But more people will watch it later. I got messages from people today that said that they'd love to be here, but they have other commitments tonight. Just thanks, everybody. Thanks so much to our presenters tonight. You guys did a wonderful bang-up job. Each and every one of you did a great job, and we're lucky to have talent and everyone trying to better themselves too.
Yeah, it was a good mix, Mark.
Yeah, very good.
Hey, all the best to everyone. Take care.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Good night, everyone.
Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you, Mark, again for doing this.
Thank you. Dave, love the tree.
I was going to say that tree looks amazing.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. I feel like this white background sucks compared to that tree now. I really have to step this up. Anyway,
Next,
thank you guys. And Mark and Jeff, thank you so much for everything that you do. Every day of the year, you guys bring it. And we only see you guys once a week, once a month, whatever, when we're doing that. I know I chat you guys once in a while and that, but thank you so much for everything you do. Merry Christmas and thanks for your leadership. You guys are amazing. And thanks to all the presenters. You all did great.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate to everybody.
thank you.
Thank you guys.
Stay healthy.
Yep.
Cheers.